Hi, my name is Poochie Racoso, and I'm going to be doing my last and final PowerPoint on the conservation of the Hylaeus. To introduce myself a little bit, I'm a biology major and I want to be a doctor or a PA. It's still in the making. And I actually really hate bugs. So this is kind of ironic that I'm doing a presentation on bees. I mean, as cute as they are, I don't like bugs, even butterflies and dragonflies. Like, I don't know, I still get scared of them and I try to run away from them. Anyways, so the Hylaeus, just to go over a little bit of background on it, is also known as the yellow-faced bee and is a native species to Hawaii. So the genus has about 60 species that probably originated from Japan, from a single species from Japan that migrated over. And from that, Hawaii just makes up 10% of the Hylaeus genus, Hylaeus species. I'm sorry. So that's cool, but unfortunately, over the past 100 years, there has been a decline in the Hylaeus population, and now they are deemed to be the first bees that are endangered, according to the United States Fish and Wildlife Services. So it's really unfortunate. So the effects that the bees have on the islands is that the Hylaeus is considered one of the keystone species in Hawaii because it is one of the main pollinators in its ecosystem. So the Hylaeus has created mutualistic plant-pollinator relationships with the native plants in Hawaii. So that just means that the Hylaeus has created relationships with the native plants, and now they're just accustomed to each other. So the native plants of Hawaii are used to the Hylaeus in specific to be pollinating them. So if the Hylaeus goes extinct, this could lead to native plants that are already endangered to just go extinct, because the Hylaeus is what's keeping these native plants alive. So it's very vital that we keep these bees flourishing and thriving and alive. And the thing about these bees is that these bees are also very adaptable to their environments. They can be found from top of mountains, moist, wet areas to the shores of Hawaii. And there are a lot of native plants that are just scattered everywhere around the island. So that just means that the bees can literally pollinate anywhere at any time also, because they are year-round pollinators. So again, these are very, very important bees to our ecosystem. So some threats to the Hylaeus that is contributing to the decline of the population is that there are competitors. And I'm talking about invasive species such as honeybees. So honeybees are actually very social bees, while Hylaeus bees are solitary foragers. So if a Hylaeus is pollinating, foraging, a bee will come right up to it and approach it. And obviously the Hylaeus is not like that. So it'll displace the bee, or displace the Hylaeus. And the bee will eventually just take over the plant that they were pollinating. And that just leaves them with less food, for one. And also that would just mean, again, invasive species being, again, invasive to the native species in Hawaii. Another reason why the Hylaeus is declining is because of invasive ants. These ants are very bad because the Hylaeus, they burrow when they nest. They can be in the ground in holes, they can be in dead trees, or they can make holes in trees, or they can be under rocks. But ants, they like to burrow and barge into their nests and eat their eggs, which then prevents their offspring from hatching and creating more bees. So these ants are really taking a toll on the Hylaeus species right now. Also, And the last and final thing is obviously us humans, we're accidentally destroying nests. When we break branches, when we step on things, we have to just be more mindful of where we're standing, because again, like I said, these bees, they just burrow in holes in different areas. So we can accidentally ruin their nests as well, not only invasive ants. Oh, so some preventative measures that are being taken right now is that there are wooden boxes with sticky residues that are being hung in bushes, in trees, in just different areas. So that the Hylaeus can nest in there. And the reason that there's sticky residue around it is because it's to prevent the ants from getting in, so that they just get stuck on the outside and then they can't go into the nest, which is really good. And this project is actually done by Hawaiian Yellow-Faced Bee project at UH Manila. So that's pretty cool, because now they, or not now, but they have been acknowledging that the Hylaeus is dying out and is very endangered. So this is very good. Another thing that we can also do is plant more native flora and fauna. We can provide the bees with more food this way. We can get rid of competition by making more areas to pollinate, so that we don't have to worry about honeybees coming up to the Hylaeus. And it also prevents the native plants from being extinct as well. So this is also a win-win situation for both the plants and the insect. And another thing that we can do is also, again, like I said previously, be more mindful about where we are at or our surroundings, so that we don't accidentally ruin a nest, or that we don't actually step on them, for example, or, kill them. Because, sometimes if you're like me and you hate bugs, you'll just want to kill a bug. But, if you are mindful about it and, if you don't hurt them, they won't hurt you, you'll just keep them alive. And, like it says over here, don't break branches, don't dig holes in unnecessary areas, and try not to lift any rocks, because, other than the Hylaeus, there can also be other, insects that are thriving over there. So being aware of our surroundings does not only help the Hylaeus, but it also helps other animals in the ecosystem. But yeah, that is my presentation for today. Thank you for watching it. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the last day of class, but here I am. Thank you for teaching this class. It was really fun. You're a really great TA. I just wanted to say that. Thank you for accommodating so much to the class. And thank you for being like an awesome TA. Like, honestly, I think you were like really the best. So, and also thank you for not making me feel bad for asking so many questions whenever I had to dissect something. I really do appreciate it. But I hope you have a great rest of your summer and a good start to your semester. Okay.